Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad. This is my channel Animate Origin. This week in 3D metal model news. Usually I start with Fascinations, and there's not really anything new on their website this week, but something that was kind of been in the back of my head the past few days. Now that Metal Earth is coming soon models and coming out with models again, you know, the pandemic slowed things way down for quite a while, but they seem to be back on track. What's coming soon is down to one model, and that's the space station. What's coming next? Something that was mentioned some time back, probably I think before the pandemic or at the beginning of it, that we haven't heard anything else about, is possible Mandalorian models. I think we're about due. I'm making a prediction here that I think we're about due for some announcements on upcoming Mandalorian models, because it was definitely hinted, I think, in a newsletter several months back, and I'm waiting for something to come out. There have been different rumors floating around. It's been quiet for a while. I did hear a recent rumor about a baby Mandalorian model and just a Mandalorian model. Like, people have speculated what kind of models are going to put out, because Metal Earth has a history of doing like 4 at a time, though they haven't stuck with that as strictly here lately. What Mandalorian models are we going to get? A lot of people have wanted things like the Razor Crest, maybe that assassination droid that was out, and those would be really cool. But the one thing that I've heard repeated here recently is a baby Yoda and a Mandalorian model. So I'm making the prediction that here soon we might be getting a coming soon of those two models, because I think they are coming up. It's unconfirmed. I'm going out on a limb here. I haven't done that in a while, but I think that may be what's coming up. So definitely going to be keeping my eye out for that. Moving over to Piececool, they did come out with something new, something surprising and new. They were riding the Star Wars train there for a bit and throwing some other stuff out. But here a few days ago, they released pictures of a Hulkbuster model. So it would seem that they had secured some licensing with Marvel, and they're now releasing this potentially large Hulkbuster model. Now, a little detail on the Hulkbuster model. The thing that stands out, probably one of the things that stands out the most, is that it has 14 3/8 sheets. I think they're the pretty standard size Piececool size sheets, like premium size sheets. 14 5/8 sheets, plus 6 accessories, 629 pieces, brass and stainless steel. Has a length of 18 centimeters, a width of 11 centimeters, and a height of 24 centimeters. 7 of 7 stars, so high difficulty level. It looks like, according to one of the pictures and the description I translated, I don't remember exactly what it said, I didn't make notes, but it looks like it has magnets in it, so the arms are removable and possibly posable. I'm guessing that the 6 accessories are 6 different magnets to make that possible. 24 centimeters tall. Just to give a bit of a comparison, the Starscream model that I recently, well, somewhat recently put together, it's been a little while, is about 24 centimeters tall if I've measured it correctly. So the Hulkbuster is going to be about the size of a MU Transformers model if I have that correct. That's pretty impressive. It definitely looks like Piececool is sizing up with their models. I didn't see anything coming soon or any new models showing up on the MU website. Started checking out a lot more recently because their website's been fairly organized and showing models before they come out, which was something that I don't think MU was all that great at before, but they've gotten a lot better with their new site. Didn't see anything new there. I did, of course, look around AliExpress at several different stores. Found a new store to keep an eye on that was actually named Iron Star. And the only thing that I'm seeing new there is a lot of different stores have the French battleship model that Piececool announced, I believe it was last week. That is for sale in a number of different stores. I put links in the description below to several of them so you can find them. Basically, some stores have, you go to the AliExpress store, there's a what's new or new arrivals section that will show you new stuff. Some stores you have to go to everything and arrange by new to find out what's new. So some of the links will have the what's new or new arrivals page, and some will have things sorted by new. And another store that I haven't really mentioned much lately because their website has changed and they haven't been showing the newest stuff as much. They seem to maybe be coming around, and that's Crazy Toys. I used to follow Crazy Toys, both their website at crazytoys.co.uk and their AliExpress store, because they tended to give a lot of updated information on coming models. They even used to have like a news section where they were occasionally announce stuff from other companies, but that hasn't been updated in a year or two. I did see that they had the model, the French battleship, and I'm not going to try to say the name again because I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess that up, but they had the ship on both the AliExpress store and their crazytoys.co.uk, but there'll be links in the description down below for that as well. And I mentioned Iron Star. I keep bringing them back up because it's kind of a newish brand that I didn't know much about. I'm slowly finding out more and more. Over the past week or so, I've had some different people mention to me that Iron Star may be a new or another branch of Nanwan models. And Nanwan, I've heard of being HK Nanwan, Genesis Nanwan. So I've heard that they've had different names before, and I want to say that one person messaged me either through Facebook Messenger or Instagram saying that they had seen a model that had both Nanwan and Iron Star on it, and today I found a Iron Star site that seemed to have Iron Star models that were pretty much the same as Nanwan models that I've seen before, which a lot of Nanwan models are same as knockoff models. So they may be related, they may be part of the same. That's not exactly encouraging news because a lot of Nanwan models are not the best of made, but not always terrible. Thought I'd share that bit of information. It looks like it may be another branch. I've had some people tell me the Iron Star models they built were terrible, and I've had other people say the Iron Star models were pretty good. So it seems to be a mixed bag there, but another piece of information I thought I would share. And I also got a bit of feedback or follow-up from GarthTube, who does tend to help me out a lot with translating and understanding a lot of the Chinese architectural stuff and Chinese models and whatnot. And for a while there I was actually referring to GarthTube before making the video, but then here, since starting this new job, time has been short and I haven't always had that chance. But I wanted to read the comment about the bookmarks that were recently put out. Hello, hello, and this is from GarthTube. Hello, hello, great video as always, Brad. Regarding the bookmarks, it does indeed look like a collection from the package I found. There was one you didn't show, and they are still to release the last one, or maybe it's staying secret so only people that get it know. The short of it is they all come from an old book of Chinese myths, mostly around strange animal spirits, both real and fantasy. As shown in order by Brad, the Tianhu Sky Fox, Feng Huang, Phoenix Bai Yai Yuan, rare bird, symbolism of fire. Guan Gar, another rare bird, Shanghai Jing, wasn't in video, tells a story of a nature spirit of sorts. I will be getting this as soon as it drops, as it's one of my wife's favorite books. As for Iron Star, their models now are incredible. Not long finished the fan, and the instructions are in color, have neo tags, which I assume lead to videos of how to do steps. Apologize for the stumbling there. I've already said it plenty of times, I'm not good at pronouncing some of this stuff, but a little bit more information on some of that and a little bit more information on Iron Star. So basically these have to do with Chinese myths and strange animal spirits, both real and fantasy. Thought that was a bit of information that I would share don't get the impression a lot of people are very excited about the bookmarks, unless maybe they are into the Chinese myths and fantasy. And one more thing I want to bring up before I get to last week's question, and that is At Play Toys recently gave me a kind of a personal 10% off coupon code that I wanted to share with my viewers. Before I get into that, I also want to mention they've started a new program. It's like an affiliate program where channels or media, whatever, such as myself, get a link that if someone uses that link, the person who put the link up can get a little bit of a kickback from the order. It's both to promote, to have people promote their website and to get a little reward from it. Bring that up. I'm going to put a link in the description down below. I've had a link to At Play Toys for a while, but I'm going to update that because it's basically, I want to put this affiliate link in there. The idea being, if you want to support this channel, of course I'm not forcing anybody, but if you want to support this channel, and especially if you're not comfortable with signing up for Patreon or going through Ko-Fi, one of the things that you can do is use that link in the description down below to order your models. They have Metal Earth models as well as a number of other things. I think they've got Time for Machine models right now. Not that I'm a big fan of that after what happened with the last Kickstarter. And they also have wooden models and other types of puzzles. If you're interested in ordering any of that stuff, use the link in the description down below and I will get a little bit of a kickback from those orders. So that is another way that you can help support this channel. Of course, it's up to you. You don't have to do that. I'll leave a link in the description down below, and on top of that, they've been given a discount code that you can use once. It's kind of a personal discount code for me to pass out. I was even given the option of what do I want to make it. I tried to make it keep on keeping on 10 off, but that was a bit long. So the discount code is actually going to be KOKO10 off. And I believe that's all capital letters, so I'm not exactly sure that that matters, but KOKO10OFF. Use that coupon code. If you don't mind, use the link in the description down below to get to At Play Toys. They do have the Darth Vader model if you haven't ordered that yet, and a lot of the other newer Piececool Metal Earth models that you can order. Use that discount code KOKO10 off and you can get 10% off of your order. That's one per customer, so you can only use that once, and there you go. Wanted to share that. Again, links in the description down below. I'll also try to put the coupon code in case you forget, so you can just copy and paste it. And I do just want to add, At Play Toys may seem to sound like it's kind of a newcomer to the game. At Play Toys has been around since I started building these models several years ago, and there was a point where they were more active in the Metal Earth subreddit and actually did giveaways. And that's kind of how I got introduced to them. But then they reached a point, for whatever reason, they stopped carrying Metal Earth models and clearanced out what they had and focused more on their other stuff. But I've always liked the shop, and I've always had good experiences with the shop. And they somewhat recently decided to start carrying Metal Earth models again. And I don't know why. I guess maybe because they started coming out with more colorful lineup of stuff and more Star Wars stuff, and just, I don't know, for whatever reason they got out of it for a little bit and then they came back to it, and now they're selling Metal Earth models again. And it's a store that's been around for a while, so thought I would add that in there. If you've never heard of At Play Toys before, they've actually been around for several years, and I've ordered from them in the past. Number of my Star Wars models, like the R2-D2 and C-3PO that come together, were from At Play Toys back before they had their gap in carrying Metal Earth models, and they got the stuff out to me pretty quickly, and they still do. Some of my more recent stuff has come from At Play Toys, so it's a good shop to order from. Thought I'd throw that in there as well if you've never heard of them before. And if you do decide to use the link down below, thank you very much. It is appreciated. Now moving on to a question of the week. Last week's question, we've been talking about architecture for a bit, and I was asking about, say, like North American architecture or other Western architecture that you would think would make good Metal Earth models or Piececool models or 3D metal models. just asking, give me some feedback. What are some examples you think would be really good? And I got a couple of responses. Max Musterman, I think there are a lot of great castles all around Europe which would make great models. Mount St. Michael, the Palace of Pena, Bran Castle in Romania, the real Dracula Castle, and many more. You can see with the Hogwarts Castle how good that might look, but ME has to be brave enough to include enough sheets and details. No cop-outs like the snow setting to avoid details in the roof. A little bit of a grin face right there. So it sounds like Metal Earth's been called out, basically saying that the snow is covering up some of the detail to make the bits and pieces easier to do. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that. Maybe there is more detail and I'm just not paying attention because I'm so just wowed by what we have, because there is a lot of detail in it as it is. And Metal Earth has been getting braver, in my opinion, to the point where I'm having difficulty shaping some of the parts because of their size. I love the Y-Wing model and the Star Wars models that came out, like Y-Wing and the Imperial Star Destroyer, but they were pretty well packed with detail, and some of that detail was borderline, I don't even know if I want to do this, because it was just difficult to shape the stuff. And I'm having some difficulty with parts with the Hogwarts Castle. So I guess maybe if they increase the size a little bit more, yeah, Metal Earth would have to be brave to do that, because I get the impression they walk a line of what can they make that will sell, because if they go all in on something and it doesn't sell, that could do a lot of damage to what I get the impression is still a somewhat small company. But yeah, that's, you know, that's me speculating a little bit. I'm going to kind of leave it at that, because I don't know anything about these castles, but that does sound fantastic. And I'm sure Europe has a lot of wonderful castles to choose from, and maybe in time we will get to see more of those as well. As far as calling them out on the details, that's a complicated subject that I'm going to walk away from at this point. Richard Kroll, I think that a good idea for a Western architectural model would be the Lincoln Memorial. It has a lot of detail and could be quite impressive. I've seen a metal model kit for the Statue of Liberty. I don't know who makes it, but it did not look very good. The face was nearly blank. There is an old model available of a Mayan temple that was pretty good. The Chrysler and Flatiron building in New York are iconic to the city and can make interesting metal models. Now the Chrysler building, they actually, Metal Earth does have that. Maybe they could up the detail on it, but they do have that. I'm pretty sure I have built quite some time back the Metal Earth version. And I think there was, I don't know if there still is, an iconic version of the Chrysler building, which I have not done. The Flatiron building, no, they've not got that. I think I have seen the Statue of Liberty, and the face was rather blank. Was it Metal Earth? I don't know who did it. I'd have to go hunt for that. And as far as the Mayan model, if I'm not mistaken, the Mayan Temple, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the pyramids that I was kind of mentioning in the last video, because there are like Mayan and Aztec, I think, pyramids. But unlike the pyramids in Egypt, which you think of having smooth sides, they step. They have steps to them, but that's just the way that they did them in South America. And I think that would be fantastic. It would be neat to have Metal Earth include some of that. There's certainly some cultural stuff we could reach into in South America as far as the Mayan temples that we could have some neat little models to make. So fantastic! Thank you for the suggestions. See if I can't pass some of this on to Metal Earth, or maybe they just read in the comments and maybe give them some suggestions, because they have been very focused on licensed models and planes lately, and that's not bad. But even I'm starting to think, yeah, it'd be nice to see some more architectural models from Metal Earth. And if there's enough interest, maybe they'll do it. And that, of course, leads us to what's this week's question gonna be. And sometimes I have trouble thinking these questions up, because what am I going to ask popped in my head as I was getting ready to hit record on this video. With the Hulkbuster model from Piececool, and this kind of comes back around. You know, Piececool did a lot of architectural stuff for the Chinese architecture, which we kind of heard that that's a lot of basically promotion of Chinese culture and architecture, which, alright, sure, fine. Now that they supposedly have a license with Marvel, is there going to be more Marvel stuff? And what Marvel stuff would you like to see? We've got a few Marvel models from Middle Earth. They've been good. Not all of them I have built. I still got to do Black Panther. I will say it's really sad that we lost the actor who played Black Panther. I had no idea. I don't follow stars and what's going on in their lives, but I had no idea that he was battling cancer. I don't have the name here right in front of me. I definitely should have made a note of that. Chadwick Boseman, through the power of pausing, I can Google that real quick. So we lost Chadwick Boseman here recently, and that's very sad. Even more sad that the Black Panther model got discontinued, and there's probably a rise in interest in that now. Unfortunately, I do have one. Someone sent one to me, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. Very thankful for that now that I have that. We've got some nice models from Middle Earth on Marvel Models, but what else would you like to see? What do you think Piececool might come out with? I mean, honestly, the Hulkbuster looks to be a pretty big, complicated model. There was another Hulkbuster out there somewhere, and I don't think it was anywhere near as big. What was it? Metal Brick came out with one, or a offshoot of Metal Brick? Can't remember, because I think I did talk about it some time back. But what other Marvel models would you like to see? I'm just curious. I don't always think about them. We're so busy with Star Wars and what Piececool is doing, I don't always think about Marvel. What are some other Marvel models you like to see? I'm going to quit rambling on. I pretty much got the question out there. I could keep going on. But yeah, leave your comments down below and we'll read about them next week. It's the beginning of a new month. I do, of course, want to thank this month's Patreon supporters for supporting this channel. I want to say thank you to Andrew S., Chris Paskowich, George Bell, Giovanni Filardo, Hugh Morrison, James Herring, James Stalker, Kaj Nielsen, Kamal McCoon, Ken Crowan, Kendall Fargo, Laurent Palm, Mon Hong, Phil Miller, Seth Bell, Shalyn Modi, Timothy Green, Timothy Vogel, and Willie Porter. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Definitely keeps the lights on, keeps models on the table, and helps this channel out. So I do appreciate it. If I pronounce your name incorrectly, I apologize. Feel free to correct me and try to do better next time. I do quick update. I definitely was hoping to get out another section of the Hogwarts Castle build this week. This past week was the start of online classes for my youngest, who is still in school. You know, a lot of schools around here, at least in the U.S., have been juggling different ideas with virtual classes, hybrid classes, in-person classes that are spread out. I made the choice to go with an already established virtual school here in my area that's been around a little while. I've known several people that have gone to it. One of those individuals went to it when it was fairly new and they had a lot of hiccups, which was discouraging. But I knew somebody that went to it last year and things were a lot smoother. And that tells me that this particular school has had several years to get their stuff together. And it also tells me that in the beginning they didn't. And with my local school system just now going to a full-on hybrid option, or not hybrid, but a full-on online option, I can't help but to think that they're going to do it. It's going to be rough at best as they figure out what they're doing. And my local school system does not have a good reputation of knowing what they're doing, as they've already changed plans like 3 times and delayed the start of school because they get headstrong and at the very last second say, we're going to do this, and then 2 days later, we're not going to do this because this isn't going to work. And then, what are you thinking? And the amount of times the local school system has said, we're going to make an announcement on this day, and this day comes and goes, and they still don't know. I decided to go with the established online courses. This past week was the start of those courses. Basically, the past few days, it's been come home from work and help my child get their homework or classwork finished, help them figure out what they're doing, find what they need to find, because it's an all completely new system. My kid is a little bit on the autism spectrum, but doing really well. I'm very proud of them for what they're doing. We made the choice together to do the online, and they are continuing to impress me, though having difficulty. It's been very stressful. The first couple of weeks, if anything new for this child, is very stressful. We're going to get through it. But I bring that up because that absolutely takes priority. Absolutely takes priority. Got to get my kids straight first. And almost absolutely nothing has been done on the model this week. I was working on editing it and pretty much did some editing Monday, and that was it, because the rest of the week has been focused on getting school squared away, and I'm confident we're making progress and hoping to get back to it. So I apologize for that. Still working on it. Life throws things at you. You deal with it and you move on. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting this channel. Consider checking out the link down below for At Play Toys if you've got any models you want to order, and that will also help this channel as well. I'll get a little bit of a kickback over time. As always, thank you, and keep on keeping on.